Welcome to Making HERstory. This isn't polished success stories. This is the fire, the chaos, the gut punch truth of women who refuse to play small. The real, feral stories. The messy, bold, audacious stories that flip the table and set shit on fire. This is where we roar. It's Ashley Crabb. Buckle up, babe. We're making HERstory.
Hello, babes, and welcome back to Making HERstory, where stories aren't something we tell just once. They are something we live, we breathe, and we roar through. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Ashley Crabb. I'm the only story-driven experience curator who helps feral as fuck females transform their personal stories into unforgettable brands, events, and spaces that build belonging, trust, and visibility. I am so excited to have you here today because we are talking about something that has been sitting pretty heavy in my mind. Staying in your lane. We have all heard it before. We have been told it, and we've probably even said it to ourselves. But today I want to challenge it, because I don't think that phrase was ever meant for women like us. We have consistently been told to stay in our lanes, to focus, to niche down, to keep our opinions tidy and our voices even tidier. We have been told to keep business and personal separate, to not lead with emotion, to protect the brand, to keep things safe. And that all sounds strategic, right? Like it sounds professional, it sounds focused, it sounds nice and neat. But for women, and for women like us, it is just another way to tell us to be quiet. Because when I hear stay in your lane, what I'm actually hearing is, who are you to speak about this? Don't speak up about this. Don't show up too bold. Do not blur the lines between who you are and what you do. But the truth is that women like us, our lanes were never meant to be straight and narrow. These lanes that we are in are winding and wide and interwoven with motherhood and partnership, family, community, creativity, the kind of fire that cannot be boxed in by other people, by algorithms, by retention metrics, right? My lane is not just my job. My lane is my story. My lane is the values that I hold dear to me. My lane is the world that I am building for my kids. It is the legacy that I am creating for my community. And yet every corner we turn, we are being told to pick one thing, focus, filter, separate, shrink yourself. But when we shrink ourselves, when we shrink our lane, we are also shrinking our impact. And like so oftentimes we have been told, speaking up is risky. If you tell your truth, you're going to lose followers. If you take a stand on something, you're going to alienate people. If you show too much of who you are, you're going to lose that professional edge. Great. I want to do all of those things because what I have learned is that when you focus so much on those things, when you focus so much on staying in your lane, you're not protecting your business. You are protecting the limitations that you have put upon yourself. You are protecting the limitations that other people have projected onto you. You are keeping yourself small, and you are halting the change that you were literally meant to make. You are halting the movement that is your purpose, right? And for such a long time, for me, staying in my lane meant separating everything. It meant separating motherhood. It meant separating business. It meant separating my morals and values and ethics. It meant separating my creativity because I thought, one, that I knew what professional looked like, and two, that I wanted to look professional. And I realized something. Professional was never what I was after. I was after respect. I was after the need to be seen and heard. And I realized when I admitted those were the things that I was after, that separating every part of me was really just suffocating me. I was suffocating myself because everything I care about is connected. My kids, my clients, my work, my values, they are all part of the same damn story. They are all part of my story. And we are being convinced that stepping outside of the lane risks this big confusion and this big misunderstanding. We're going to screw up how people perceive us. Well, guess what? One, how people perceive you, how people understand you, that's on them. Because when you refuse to get out of your own fucking way, when you say, I am going to stay inside this lane, you end up losing yourself. You end up losing you. When you silence your beliefs to protect your brand, you're not protecting your brand. Like we said earlier, you're betraying your purpose. You are betraying your purpose. You are becoming palatable, and you are in return betraying the woman that you are becoming. And I would rather lose followers. I would rather people misunderstand me. I would rather people perceive me in whatever way they choose to than lose who I am. But I have been there. I have been there sitting on my truth because I didn't want to rock the boat. I have been there where I have sat in silence because I didn't want to be labeled as anything. I have been editing my captions so they feel safe. I have toned down my voice because I didn't want to be wrong or misunderstood. But every time I stayed silent, I felt it. I felt it more and more. I felt that ache in my chest, the frustration that comes when you know who you are and you know you're holding something sacred inside of you. You're not giving it the air that it needs. That's what silence does. That's the suffocation that silence creates. We can't afford to stay silent anymore. Our voices are not liabilities. Our stories are not liabilities. Our interweb of life is not a liability. That is what gives us authority. That is what creates respect. That is what creates loyalty and trust. Our voices are our leadership. And we have to start realizing that our lane is not this narrow path with walls on both sides. Our lane is a living, breathing ecosystem. It is made up of our passions. It is made up of our experiences. It is made up of our beliefs, our grief, our joy, our fire, everything. We are such deep-rooted human beings, and that's not a flaw in your brand. That is your brand. That is your business. That is what makes people trust you. People don't connect to perfection. They connect to truth. And when you start speaking about what matters to you, the causes, the values, the experiences, you give other women the permission to do the same. You invite them in to talk about what you care about, but you also say, honey, go talk about what you care about. You stop being just a business owner, just an entrepreneur, and you become a beacon. That's the shift. That's the power of getting outside of your frickin' lane. And I know that fear that lives inside of us. I know that fear to make the decision to speak up, right? What if they don't get it? What if I lose clients? What if people think I'm too much? Stop keeping yourself so small. Because the question that should matter more than any of those things is, what does it cost me if I don't speak up? What is that going to cost me? Because the price of silence is steep. It costs you your alignment. It costs you your authenticity. It costs you the connection that you are here to make with people in this world. You can't create belonging from a place of pretending. You can't create belonging trying to polish yourself to fix somebody else's narrative. So yes, some people will misunderstand you. Some people will unfollow you. Some people will label you. Let them. Fucking let them. The cost of your silence is so much heavier than the risk of being misunderstood. Every time you swallow your truth, you trade authenticity for approval. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be felt by the ones who are ready to rise with you. No amount of likes, no amount of followers is going to fill that gap. And I want to make a point here that's personal to me. Like, this isn't necessarily about being political. This isn't necessarily about being an activist. Those are labels, right? Those are labels. This is about being human. This is about being human, because our business is not just business. It is the way we show up for our people, for our families, for our communities. It is the mark that we are creating now and the mark that we want to leave behind. And so every time you use your voice, you widen the lane. You widen the lane for yourself. You widen the lane for the women who are coming along with you, and you are widening the lane for the women coming after you. So please, 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 can we all make ourselves a promise? Can we make a pinky promise to each other? We have to stop waiting for permission to speak. We have to stop editing ourselves to sound neutral. We have to stop following all of the overload of information on the internet that says you have to talk like this, you have to speak like that, you should look like this, these are the things you could care about. Stop it. Stop it. Other people don't matter. And neutral doesn't change anything. Your voice creates change. Your truth creates change. Your story creates change. This is about using your platform, your voice, your story to speak about the things that matter to you, because those things are part of the work that you do. You don't have to separate everything. You don't have to separate your mission from motherhood. You don't have to choose between business and belonging. You don't have to shrink yourself to fit inside of somebody else's comfort zone. Your story is your strategy. Your values are your visibility. Your voice is your legacy. And so the next time someone says, oh, stay in your lane, I dare you. I double raw dog dare you to look them dead in the eye and say, I built this road. What lines? You were never meant to fit for other people. You are not meant to follow other people's directions. We are here to rewrite them. We are here to burn the blueprint and do what works for us. This isn't about staying in your lane. This is about taking up the space that you were meant to take up. Please, get the fuck out of your lane and get into your purpose. Get into what you were put on this earth to do. Staying small will not serve you. It will not serve anybody else. You are allowed to be too much. You are allowed to care loudly. You are allowed to lead with your heart. You are the woman that changes the narrative just by being you and speaking it boldly. We're not going to stay quiet. We're not going to stay safe. We're not going to play small. We are going to stay true. We are going to stay feral. And we are going to stay free. That's it for this week's episode. And if it hit home, if you felt that spark that says it's time to take up space, please don't let it fade. 1, follow along. But 2, download the Tell Your Story Starter Kit. It's the first step to reconnecting with your voice and building something that actually sounds like you. And then after you do that, come back and we'll take it to the next level and let's book a 30-minute vibe check. Let's vibe together because our lanes, your lane, my lane, we also weren't meant to travel it alone. This is a movement. This is a freaking movement. This is Making HERstory. And your story, it's just getting started. I hope you join me next week. I can't wait. Go out there and kill it, babes.
You've been listening to Making HERstory. Remember, your story isn't optional. It's your fire, your power, and the heartbeat of every space you build. So take up space, tell it raw, and keep building the kind of legacy that can't be ignored. It's Ashley Crabb, and I'll be back with more bold, brave, feral stories soon. And if you want to stay feral with me, hit subscribe, share this with your sisters, and let's make HERstory louder together.